3 weeks ago, I posted the video for the Staccato C DUO with the ROMEOZero 3 MOA micro reflex sight on it, and a viewer commented asking why I put a cheap plastic sight on a relatively expensive gun. Well, stick around. Riders Range is going to answer that question. So thanks for visiting Riders Range, and let's go ahead and talk about why the change. When this gun came in, it came in with one optics plate that would fit either the Sig ROMEOZero or the Shield RMSC. I really wanted to put the Holosun 507K on it. I liked how that worked on my Sig 365, and just happened to come across a second one and got a hold of Dawson, and they didn't have a plate for it yet. The mounting holes themselves between the sights are all the same, but the recoil lugs are in a different place on the 507K than they are on the ROMEOZero and the Shield RMSC. So Dawson said that they were in the process of making a plate for it, and stick around. So I actually talked to them recently, and they said it's still in development, but they're extremely busy. They haven't been able to bring it to actual market yet. Checked the website again a couple days ago, still not there, but I was able to get the Swampfox Sentinel, which is also a 3 MOA dot. And this does, in fact, mount on the same mounting plate that the ROMEOZero mounts on. And we're going to try it out and see how it works. So I can't show the changing of parts here on YouTube, so I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to put the Swampfox Sentinel on the Staccato C DUO, and we'll talk about it a little bit more and then take it out to the range. Before I put this on, let's take a quick look at what's in the box. Again, this is a 3 MOA dot. They make two different versions of this. This one is automatic brightness adjustment. I still have kind of mixed emotions on whether or not I like automatic versus manual. They do have a manual option that has a shake awake feature on it. This one is constantly on, but still says you'll get 1.5 to 2 years out of the battery life. Of course, it does have a Swampfox decal, Swampfox support, the instruction manual. Definitely not senior citizen friendly with a large print there. Oh, it does have a cleaning cloth, mounting gasket, and a battery. We'll talk more about the battery in just a second. And inside it has the Swampfox Sentinel sight with a nice cover on it, by the way. This one is a nice rubber cover for it, and decent window. It says it is 16 millimeter window, has vertical and vertical and windage adjustments on it. It does say Swampfox on the side. It's a little duller color than the ROMEOZero, but not a lot. And just like the ROMEOZero, it does have a battery compartment in the bottom. Definitely well fitted. Oh, there's the adjustment tool. Good heavy duty tool, feels good. Another wrench. So we're going to take the ROMEOZero off the Staccato, and we're going to put the Swampfox on, and then we're going to have another quick look at it. Then we'll take it outside and zero it in and see how it works. Okay, so there is the Swampfox Sentinel 3 MOA sight on the Staccato C DUO. It is torqued down and in place. This is a couple of different things on this from the ROMEOZero. Slightly different profile. The Swampfox is more angular, not quite like a Trigicon, just because it doesn't have the ears that stick up for protective on the glass, but it's also made out of aluminum as opposed to made out of polymer. Swampfox, by the way, is an American company located in Colorado. And the 3 MOA dot bright on automatic is pretty bright in here right now, but we'll see how the automatic works. Another difference on this is there is a sight notch on the rear of the ROMEOZero, which is not incorporated into the Swampfox, but with the Staccato C DUO, you don't need it because it does come with a rear sight, which I've already got sighted in. But if you're putting this on a gun that replaces the rear sight, that sight notch is kind of nice on the ROMEOZero. Another difference is this takes a CR2032 battery. The ROMEOZero takes a 1632 battery, but yet they're saying that you can get as much as 50,000 hours of life out of it on this gun. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't know if I'm ever going to find out if that's true or not. In the instructions for the Swampfox Sentinel, it didn't say what to torque these down to. They do take a T10 torque driver. The ROMEOZero instructions said torque it down to 9 inch-pounds. My torque wrench only goes down to 10 inch-pounds, so that's what this is torqued down to. And we're going to take it outside and shoot it here in a couple of minutes. I'm not going to retest the iron sights because I know they're lined up, and the dot, looking at it, lining up the iron sights, the dot looks pretty close. It might be just a hair high. We're going to be shooting 147 grain ammunition through this thing. I'm going to try it out with Federal. I'm also going to put some of my Remington Golden Saber 147s through this, and we'll take it out to the range, and then we'll bring it back in for a real quick wrap up here. So I was impressed with the Swampfox Sentinel right out of the box. You can see at 15 yards on that 3-inch circle, it was shooting a couple inches low and just a hair to the right. But that's still acceptable for combat distance for an out-of-the-box sight. No complaints at all on it. You can see also that I did overcorrect on the first few shots on the next target and went a little too high. I finally brought it back down, and that sight did certainly make it easy to hit what I was aiming at 15 yards. I used a green circle this time because it's a red dot, shows up better on the green, and so moving over to 25 yards, you can see that it was accurate on the 12-inch plate, the 8-inch plate, 10-inch plate between the silhouettes, and surprisingly, it took out the center, the pelvis, and the head, and got them all back one shot each. Very, very pleased with how well this sight is working and holding zero. Now again, I only fired a little over 100 shots out of it so far, but it is working quite well, particularly when you get back to 50 yards, and the 10-inch plate was ringing all day long, and just extremely pleased that that thing is even accurate on the gun to shoot 6-inch plates on the Texas Star at 50 yards. So very, very pleased with how well this is functioning. Now, fortunately, I still have a good supply of 9mm ammo, so I'm going to put a lot more rounds through this gun with this sight. But right now, I'm very pleased with it. I think it was a good replacement for the ROMEOZero, and actually, it may be a better replacement than the Holosun. And I was actually pleased that the automatic adjustment so far has worked out well for it.
Okay, Swampfox Sentinel's right on.
All right, I'm relatively pleased with the Swampfox Sentinel. And by the way, before we go too much farther, don't get too negative about the name Swampfox. I urge you to go to their website and look up the reason that they have named their company Swampfox. Brings a whole new light to it, and even though the name sounds kind of hokey to start with, having an understanding of why changes my whole perspective. Anyway, I like their product. A couple of issues with it, though. Obviously, to start with, though, you can see where it did start out fairly well, zero. Like those were the first 2 shots, if I remember right. And hey, that's close enough for government work out of the box at 15 yards. That's just a 3-inch circle. So to be 2 inches off from center and just a hair right at 15 yards out of the box, not a big deal. Did have to work a little to dial it in, but after we did, I'm 15 yards again. That's offhand shooting. I'm real happy with how this Sentinel performed on the Staccato C. Of course, the Staccato C DUO was a really nice gun anyway. So anyway, back to the, I guess, the nitpicks that I'd have with it. There is no audible or tactile adjustment in here. Now, these may be 1 MOA marks on here, for all I know, but I didn't feel anything as I was turning it. I would really much rather be able to feel each MOA or each click on both the elevation and the windage on it. Couldn't do that. Well-made sight, though. I like the fact that it's aluminum. Now, it's not quite as thick of aluminum as the Holosun 507K. The glass looks clear. It's a little bit tinted, as it is supposed to be able to show the reflection of the dot in a lot of conditions. I did some experimenting with this gun, and actually took it into different lighting conditions and had light behind me looking into a dark area, and it was a very bright light. Now, of course, again, the sensor's on the side. And when I went into a dark area, looking into a light area, the light dimmed quite a bit. You can see how quickly it does change. And I'm not at all displeased with how quickly it changed. Now, the size of the dot is a little deceiving here in the camera. It got to be a very fine 3 MOA dot when I was in a dark area looking into light, which is fine. I could still see it. The nice thing about this, having the sensor on the side, though, is when you're wearing it with a cover garment, this is going to be darkened most of the time, and that's how they get their 50,000 hours of use out of the battery, because the sight is always in a darkened condition. Therefore, it's got the least intensity, and then when you do draw it, it instantly comes to light. So I think that I may actually warm up to the auto adjust feature. So far it seems to be working okay. And that's it. I'm pleased for the price, and again, I don't have any affiliations with any of these companies, whether it's Staccato or Dawson Precision or Swampfox or Holosun or any of those. I don't have any affiliation at all. Everything that you've seen here has been purchased out of my pocket. So I don't owe anything to any of these manufacturers, but I do like it. And if I can hit those 6-inch plates at 50 yards with the Texas Star, that's a good combination for me. So I'm happy with it. All right, enough talking with it. If you like this video, we do appreciate thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, click on the notifications bell, and comments on this video, comment down below. I'll do my best to comment to everything that I am aware of through the YouTube's notification system. I don't always get notified of all of them. But comments on anything else, please send them to our website, info@ridersrange.com. And so that's it with the STI Staccato C with the Swampfox Sentinel 3 MOA auto adjust red dot sight on it. Thanks for visiting Riders Range.
I think it's close. Let's just run the plates one time with a 147, see how it works. Start with a 10-inch on the left, and the plates. Hits them.